Hello, everyone. Welcome to Disamtex training video course. I'm Andreas and I speak from Brazil. Um, I'd like to introduce you to the group of products in the Alkalizers category from Disamtex Chemicals, a paint additive manufacturer situated here in South America. For context purposes, Disamtex Chemicals is a family-run business established 30 years ago, specializing in chemical additive solutions for mainly the paint sector, but also for the paper and textile industries. And within the paint additives universe, Disamtex has a wide range of product families, and you can check our portfolio in the description box below. So we are talking today about the pH modifiers, also known as alkalizing agents, which help keep the pH level stable in water-based paints. When the pH drops too low, the paint becomes unstable and prone to various issues. This can lead to problems such as gelation or reduced viscosity. And as a result, the person applying the paint might experience difficulties like sagging, spattering, phase separation, its technical name being Syneresis, and overall formulation instability. Well, pH modifiers can have a variety of applications in different industries. The desired effect might change according to each industry. For some, a low level of odor is of high importance, while others wish to prioritize other functionalities of a pH modifier, like its corrosion inhibition, for example. This image shows that paint changes its viscosity, its thickness, depending on how much it's stirred or applied. So it becomes thinner when you apply force. In the paint industry, pH modifiers help control this behavior because most thickeners depend on pH to work properly. If the pH is right, then the paint stays stable during storage, so there is no settling. The paint flows well when applied, so there is no spattering. The paint levels nicely when drying, so there is no sagging. So in short, pH modifiers keep the paint's viscosity balanced and stable through all stages: storage, application, and drying. Therefore, pH modifiers are crucial because they optimize thickener activation and rheology control. They maintain system stability across different conditions, you say, storage, application, and drying. And they ensure consistent performance and ease of application. So we're not going into detail about the thickening mechanism. I just wanted to present you with a short explanation that pH strongly affects viscosity because many thickeners used in paints, such as associative thickeners, acrylic thickeners, or cellulosic ones, are pH sensitive. So their molecular structure changes with pH, altering how they interact with water and other paint components. So the correct thickener and pH selection ensures that the paint has the right viscosity profile at each stage. This relationship between viscosity and pH is very important for understanding how the paint behaves. Here we see the post-thickening stage and what happens when the pH is adjusted very closely to that critical risky zone. What increases the viscosity is the thickener, and since it's only activated at higher pH levels, This value needs to be adjusted upwards to ensure long-term stability. When the pH is too low or too high, the paint can gel, become unstable. So a safe pH range keeps viscosity stable and the paint easy to handle. When the pH is not well adjusted, many things can happen. Destabilization of the thickener that will cause gelation. Biocide can degrade, interference in the emulsion, corrosion, color change, etc. So a lot of things. This is a comparison of pH modifiers' different chemical natures. Disamtex works with amines and silicates. We leave ammonia on here since too many people still use it. But look, amines perform really well in comparison and are a safer and more friendly option. Also, silicate-based modifiers can have great advantages in certain aspects. See the bottom attributes where silicate derivatives perform best. Disamtex will offer two types of alkalizing agents, those with an organic amine base and those with an inorganic silica base. So Amino APR and ALK 300 are the great players in this game, each representing one of the two types, the amine family and the silica-based family. Dacode Amino APR is a soft organic base that offers major advantages over traditional inorganic alkalis. It provides stable pH control, excellent compatibility with emulsions and pigments, and optimized film formation because it's fully volatile. And unlike ammonia, it acts gradually, safely, reducing the risk of instability, precipitation, or odor. It also works as a co-dispersing agent, an anti-gel additive, and an in-can corrosion inhibitor. So in short, Dacode Amino APR ensures better performance, cleaner films, and smoother production. We have arguments for both sides. When we compare amines with inorganic alkalis, the difference becomes clear. The other way around will present good arguments as well. So we just need to focus adequately on which parameters we are considering. But thinking specifically for inorganic bases like ammonia, they act very rapidly and aggressively on pH, often leading to instability or even pigment precipitation. In contrast, Dacode Amino APR provides a gradual, controlled action, ensuring high compatibility with emulsions and polymers and greater formulation stability overall. In short, Dacode Amino APR delivers better performance, improved stability, and a much more user-friendly experience than ammonia, and all with low odor and high efficiency. Now, Disamtex can present a solution if an inorganic base is desired. So inorganic bases can also have their appeal. Compared to amine-based pH modifiers, Dacode ALK 300 offers advantages too. It's completely odor-free. Amine, I would say, is low odor, which makes handling much more pleasant. So it's also non-yellowing, ensuring better long-term appearance of the paint film. And because it's zero VOC, it's safer for both users and the environment. And finally, it's a more cost-effective and sustainable option, ideal when eco-safety and stability are priorities. In summary, Amino APR is also a star performer in the category and holds the REACH certification. ALK 300, on the other hand, is the standout in our silicate range. It's easier to handle due to its odorless nature, also carries strong environmental appeal as a zero-VOC product. So our great enemy in this case is ammonia, and we focus on replacing this sort of chemistry in our customers. Amino APR is a one-to-one replacement of AMP95. When speaking about pH modifiers, the solids content isn't the most relevant aspect of the additive. Rather, it's the neutralizing capacity, which refers to how much acid an alkali base can neutralize. So in this context, it measures how many grams of a pH modifier are needed to neutralize a fixed amount of acid. Here, 20 grams of phosphoric acid. A lower value means the product is more efficient, as it needs less material to reach the same neutralizing effect. A higher value means it's milder, requires more product to achieve neutralization, which often gives better control and more stable pH adjustment in paints and coatings. Amino 95 is just the more concentrated version of APR. Okay. Here is a formula suggestion with our pH modifier ALK 300 for an acrylic paint with these final parameters: gloss, solids, viscosity, and PVC. So in other words, the paint is ready. Just a matter of repeating the formula recipe. Disamtex can offer this kind of assistance too. So feel free to ask. Worth mentioning, Disamtex has commissioned a study from an independent laboratory in the US to analyze our additive against other strong market references. This laboratory was Marshall Labs in Florida, and we obtained all the feedback documentation from them with the following conclusions. For this type of paint, under time 0, and a second evaluation after 2 weeks' time at 60 degrees Celsius, indicating an accelerated simulation compared to the real world, what was seen was a slight drop or equivalence of numbers. We can say that, yes. This means our product performs in a very stable way over a long period of time, say 1 year plus. Same with an eggshell kind of paint. And lab's conclusion was, quote, Disamtex products perform equally, can be mentioned as countergrades of those market references, unquote. And not only that, Disamtex has also commissioned tests in other laboratories trying to figure out how the products behave in other conditions in other parts of the world. So lab trials were also carried out in Turkey, South Africa, and here in Brazil, and the results were not a surprise. APR and ALK 300 are indeed good players on the pitch. I believe that's all for me, and I thank you for your precious attention and patience to hear all this. I make myself available, and we hope our conversations can go further ahead. Thank you.